Hi, I'm Rebecca from Merchandising, and I'm here today to go over my extensive collection of gloves with you. As you can see, I have several pairs, and I have a bit of a problem. I'm addicted to Roeckls. And as we go through the video, if you would like to skip ahead and learn more about all the different pairs that I have, along the side there'll be a menu, and you can just jump around. So there'll be other people talking about their glove collections as well, but I'm going to go ahead and get started with my collection. So if any of you have seen any of my other videos, you know that I have a Roeckl problem, so that will be what we're focusing on here today is my entire collection. Starting with a very old ratty pair that's probably going to retire. These are my Roeckl Chester summer gloves. I've had these for 3 seasons now. You can see they've been loved very well. What's really nice about them, and why we'll buy another pair for next season, is they have this lightweight mesh on top. So it's very breathable and comfortable in the summer. It's like you're not even wearing a glove. But then the palm has the same great leather and palm that all of the Roeckls have, so you have excellent grip. Like I said before, you can see that they're well loved. And I tend to throw things around in my bag and they get caught on my brushes. But in general, these gloves have done very well for me. And this is one of my summer pairs. I have multiple pairs for each season. So then this is the next glove that I got. I got these this year. These are the Roeckl Londons. And this is my new summer glove. If you look at these, they have this fun patent leather stripe on them. They're also a lightweight mesh. If you can see there, you can have a lot of breathability there. They have the sporty Roeckl branding on them. And again, they have the same palm and the same consistent leather. And then they're reinforced across the areas where you grip the reins. So very, very comfortable and very durable. These have held up fantastic this season. And I've seen more and more people wearing them. So I think that other people are getting on the train. So these are the Roeckl Londons. Next is my pair of show gloves. I try not to ride in these any other time except for when I'm showing. And these are your basic Roeckl Chesters in the black. So they're all over leather. They're very conservative. I ride in the hunter ring and the equitation ring, so they're perfect for that. Again, very, very lightweight since most of my competing is done in the summer months. They're not real hot. They have a nice stretch across your knuckles, so when you're closing or changing your hand position, they're very comfortable. Again, they're completely reinforced in the areas where you grip the reins and very comfortable. One of the things I know I've talked about before that I love about Roeckl gloves in general is I'm very weird about the seams in your fingertips. So all of Roeckl gloves to me are sewn so well here that you never feel the bulk of the seam across your finger. For whatever reason, that really annoys me. So that's why I also really love all of their gloves. We all know that summer's going to come to an end very soon here, actually. It's already getting cold in the Northeast. These are my Roeckl Chester winter gloves. So these are a little bit bulkier, as you can see, but not compared to most. They have a nice fleece lining inside. It's very lightweight and it's bonded to the leather, so you don't have that liner separate from the outside of the glove where you can feel it slipping around. It's very uncomfortable when you're riding and you can feel the different layers. Once again, I love them because even though they have the fleece bonded to them, the fingertip seams are perfect. They don't bother you at all. Adjustable fit, stretch across, and still can completely articulate your hand and ride in the wintertime with no problem. So these are great winter riding gloves. Roeckl Chester winter. And I've actually had these for, I think, coming on 3 seasons as well, and they've held up really, really well. The last thing in my collection is brand new, because like I said, it's getting cold and the winter is coming, and I can't help myself. These are brand new by Roeckl. I saw them at a trade show and I tried them on and I was like, oh, I know I'll have to have these when they come in stock. So you're looking at them. I just purchased them and picked them up this morning. So these are great for riding in the wintertime, and these are the Roeckl Weldon gloves. But these are going to be great for just around the barn as well, because sometimes I find that I need like the really fleecy glove. But we'll start with a couple of reasons why this is just fun for around the barn, and really I think even around town. So you can definitely ride in the glove. It has this silicone grip, which you're seeing more in general even on breeches, so you have that technology. It has the fingertips done with the leather so that you can still use your touchscreen phones. So if your iPhone or your Android phone, you can still operate it with these gloves. They have a higher wrist on them. You can see they come up further, whereas most gloves end here. This kind of goes up like under your storm cuff on your coat, so it helps keep the cold out there. They're extremely stretchy as well, so they're just really comfortable. They're not going to get in your way at all. Same great fingertips, right? We all know that that really matters to me. The inside of them is a thick brushed fleece, nice and cushy, very high pile, so that's really fun. And like I said, touchscreen compatible, and these are made with real polar fleece. So this is my newest pair for around town in the winter, the Roeckl Weldon. And I should mention that this one says touchscreen approved. Not all of these have that on the packaging, although I know for the upcoming year that is something that goes on the packaging for the Roeckls. But I can operate my touchscreen phone in any of my Roeckl gloves. I have no problem. You shouldn't be using your phone while you're riding, but if you need to check a text message when you're on the ground, it's not a problem. You don't have to rip your gloves off. So I hope you enjoyed looking at my collection. Please don't judge me too much, because there's more that I want to buy. Thank you and have a great ride.
Hi SmartPak fans, I'm Viviane and I work in the marketing department. I will talk about Roeckl Gloves today. I will talk about a whole bunch of gloves, so if you want to skip forward to a certain pair of gloves, you will see a bar here on the left side of the screen and you can just skip forward. So I will start with my oldest and most favorite pair, the Roeckl Chester glove. You can see that I have had these gloves for a long time. 6 years ago, I bought my first pair of Roeckl gloves because I was trying many different pairs of gloves. I never wanted to spend like that much money for a pair of gloves, but at the end I just thought, okay, I'm just gonna give it a try, and bought these kind of gloves, and I have had them for 6 years, so it was obviously really worth it. With this pair, you can see that I have a tiny hole here which comes from my ring, so you can really not blame this pair of gloves to look like this after riding in those for 6 years. I've been riding in Germany many different horses, been using leather reins, thick rubber reins, thin rubber reins, riding in the summer when they get all wet and sweaty, riding in the winter when the leather is really stiff. Like, I always had a perfect grip and feeling with these kind of gloves. After I had those for a while, I decided to get another pair just because I really liked them and I didn't want to destroy them so quickly. And it's always fun to have another color to mix with your riding outfit. So 2 years later, I got these kind of gloves. Really like the color because it's not so bright like this one. I like to use those for clinics, for example. So these are 4 years old. I still use them very regularly. Different kind of horses, strong horses, soft horses. You can like use them everywhere. They look very classy, very chic, I have to say. Match them very nicely with your outfit. This year I thought about mixing it up a little bit and chose the sportive version of the new Roeckl gloves. I think they just came out this year. So the difference here is that the top is a little bit more stretchy. So if you have maybe a little bit of wider palm, this is a good glove. When you make a fist and you have a wider palm, it's really stretchy on the top. If you want to compare, these are the same size. I have size 8 or 8.5. Both these gloves, for example, are size 8. These are very nice, lean on my fingers, and these have a little bit more space. I believe it's just because it's different material. The comparison of the material is here you also have a little bit of a harder material in the inside, so you have a little bit of a harder grip. Meanwhile, with the Chester gloves, they're really soft, like you feel everything. So now the pair that I'm wearing here, these ones are the winter Chester. I got these, I think they survived now 3 winters, and I really love them. Even though it's for winter, you have a great feeling. It's just a soft fleece on the inside. You get still the same feeling like with the normal Chester glove, and they keep you really nice and warm. So I have to say I had those for the German winters, and last year I came here to New England and I used these gloves the whole New England winter. I survived it. It was fine for riding, but for this year, I decided to go with the Weldon winter fleece glove. So this one is just for the real winter. Nice big fleece, warm. Just put them on. You still have the function for your smartphone, so you can use your smartphone with those 2 fingers if you want to. Very nice grip for winter glove. It's not bulky. You have still a great feeling in your rain. And what I really like, what I noticed last year with wearing these, is that it goes here over your hand, so it really stays warm when you're riding, and you might stretch out your arm and your jacket goes up or whatever you're wearing. You don't get that cold wind that comes in here. So that's what I'm really looking forward to be wearing these this winter and being warm. That's going to be really exciting. So this was my collection of all my Roeckl gloves. Of course, I also have a white pair for shows. Can't miss those. And I could buy every year another pair in another color. There are a lot of choices. Thanks for watching my video. Don't forget, we have a whole other bunch of videos about the collections that us SmartPakers have. You can watch all those videos on our playlist. Don't forget to subscribe and have a great ride.